It's down here in Killed Cold Creek. So let me tell you what happened. So on September 18th, Clark set out before dawn to go on ahead of the rest of the party to try to find some food. About 8:30, Lewis set out. They ate the last of their provisions. The last thing they had that they could eat was candles. They had about 20 pounds of candles, which apparently will provide you with some nutritional value. So they ate that, and then that was it. They were out of food. And they real easily could have starved to death here in the Bitterroot Mountains, and no one ever would have known about what happened to the Lewis and Clark expedition. That day, on the 18th, they got to the end of the ridge. It's called Sherman's Ridge now. They've been following the ridge line along the top, and they got to the end of it. And looking off in the distance, Meriwether Lewis could see that there was a prairie out there. At last, there was an end to these mountains. And so that was great news. The getting down was difficult. It was straight down. And as they started moving down, the horses were falling. One horse fell and rolled 100 yards, he said, until it fell into a creek. They thought for sure the horse was dead. When he got down and they unpacked it, the horse got up, minor injuries, but it was okay. They continued on. They slept that night without having anything to eat. The next morning on the 19th, they continued on and they came across the better part of a horse that Clark had left for them with a note. So they had killed a wild horse and ate part of it and left the rest for Lewis. And a note saying that he's going on up ahead to the prairie to get more food. So things were now looking promising, but that was probably the worst part of the expedition, is those few days they spent on that ridge line in the snow and starving and not knowing if they're going to make it back or not.